Alright, I'm going to talk about a Neltharus plus 24. This is after the nerfs to Neltharus, so change doesn't do any damage anymore. This is on my paladin because it feels half trolling to play a warrior currently, even if we're getting buffs next week. Before we start, I'm quickly gonna show the route, and it was something like this. No, it's actually not. We're going right side to begin with, because we wanted to kill the wardens. With chains, so it's more like, sorry, it is not this. It was more like this, and we use chains on first pull, second pull, this pull. Wardens do slap, so it's good to use chains on them for sure. This is not how we ended up playing it, but ish, pretty close. I'll show it and I'll explain why things are changing up a bit, but the way this is played in the video is not how I would play it next time. So we begin with dragging the wardens, make sure to get threat on these, and then try to outrange them because they do slap and you don't want to pop a defensive early here. And I don't know why I actually sack someone there, that's a bit crazy. And I'm actually trying to heal someone else too, which is also a bit crazy. I'm just taking this. It's 2 hunters, 2 wardens, and the overseer and some birds, and then I use chain. I do bubble whilst chaining, but you shouldn't do that. You should bubble afterwards to drop the debuff. You should at least drop the debuff. What the fuck do you mean crackhead tank? What the fuck? You can see we use 2 chains on that, me and warrior, and they only deal damage to enemies. They also stun enemies, but it's a lot of damage they deal. We still lusted this pull, and we're finishing it because they're pretty low. Now we're just going here. I'm not too comfortable with the route because I haven't done it before. Just rushing boss technically, but we should go even bigger here. I think there's 3 people using chains now. The rest of them, that is, but I think we're also having a death due to aggro loss and whatnot. It's a bit rough. The way I would maybe recommend doing this is doing a bigger pull first, using a chain on most people, and then invis potting past everything and running back. You can see aggro is a real struggle when you're going this big and you don't want to go and pick them all up. You're in consecration, so forth. Now they're just using chains. The healer should also use, and they should die. But technically I should have bubbled and used chain on the second pull as well. Yeah, precisely, I agree, Ninja, because it's all about using the chains more or less. I'm telling the druid when it comes, and I'm telling the druid to use this chain for whatever reason. But then again, they're also dead. The things that you wanna watch out for here is the wardens. They hit heavily with fire damage. The hunters jump on people. They also throw out spears, so you gotta dodge that. And there's frontals from the magma fists, and there's some chain channeling heal. You want to kick that. This boss does a magma wave. Dodge it. Now he's gonna jump on someone. I'm not sure if this is fixed. It used to be able to go on pets, which was pretty broken with a druid and a shadow priest and so forth in the group. You can bop it away. I think you can also meld it, but it's not a big deal. These, you just drag the chain through the boss and then he puts a debuff on everyone in the group. Hurts quite a lot, so just do 1 at a time and just dance from the puddles. When he's stunned for these seconds, he's taking 50% increased damage. I'll spend much more time on here. The way I would recommend doing the next pull is invis potting rather than setting it up the way I am. This way we wouldn't have any breath issues, which is really the biggest issue I feel like here. So we pull these and I try to pick aggro up on all of them. Do need the birds, but we are also getting them in, but that also means that I'm gonna have to stop. The way I would recommend it is pulling everything back to that and then everyone being ready with chains, because this is the last chain that you need. But they're getting aggro and I have to run. Having 2 people dead, I'm still setting up the pull. I'm praying that I can get those before anyone else dies and I can pick these up again. The way I should do it is I sack the warrior. I'm using chain and I bubbled again, but I should technically use bubble afterwards instead to chain again, but I also have to survive, right? I'm very close to dying, it feels like. And it would maybe make sense to play with Bob here, but very questionable. I don't take Bob too lightly. 5 minutes CD for something that you can usually sack or help out with 1 word of glory. But when they are back, they're also using the chain. These bone tosses actually hurt quite a bit as well. You want to make sure to get the cauldron as well, that is over there. When you right click that cauldron, you get food on your extraction button that gives you 65% movement speed. Everyone got it, I believe, at least. They also changed the fact that this door is now open, so people should be able to run through there. But it's alright. Just keep on going. Yeah, I think you might be right, Stux. But I wasn't too sure about it, but at least Bob should. But I'm not 100%. Just running on the side of that hunter. Doing this in 1 pull. The lava bearers basically do nothing. The lava flares are nerfed, they have less health. And the iron torch, you just want to kick that guy. Watch out for the frontal he does. And just stun it. Watch out for double cast as a paladin, you want to use sacks and you want to off heal. Standing consecration and rotate your own defensives. It's not too heavy tank damage here, so instead look for whoever to sack. If there's a double cast on someone and you can't stop it, sack them. Or help out topping people. Finishing off the lava bearer, but it could make sense to actually chaining him with the patrol instead. We're skipping this patrol by just running on the side. I am playing 10 toxins just for the weekly affix. Taking these, and we should be focusing the blacksmith because the blacksmith saps a bit. I took those in, but that was not my original intention. It's a lot going on here now and it's a bit unnecessarily risky. We could finish off the first lava flares and then chain in the other ones, but in the future we would go for the lava bearers that is far away and then take the mini boss into 2 set of lava flares. When those are dead, we chain with the others and we would have lost when that's up. Then I think we are jumping down now. And we're playing both sides, I think, which is a bit scary. Would not do that without lust. You can also skip one side if you want to and be very cautious with your space. If you do, you would have to tank the boss here and then you just get knocked to one side and so forth. I think might as well play both, my opinion. I think we'll speed this up 1.5. The blacksmith does a AoE and also a tank bleed basically. Not sure if it's a bleed, you cannot remove it though. This boss slaps. It's probably currently the hardest boss in the dungeon. Try to help out with healing everyone and well, using a spell word. Prop war main now, or do you mean prop paladin main now? I don't know. I do still play my prop warrior. I will play it from time to time, but depends on what keys are up and what I'm playing with. As you can see, you can really help your group here as a paladin, and that is why it's hard to play a prop warrior now, because I can't send out a word of glory on my warrior. You can also shadow melt or vanish the not the Might of Forge. The initial jump of Might of Forge is physical damage, so you could pop that, but you can spell what the rest of the AoE ticks. And it's blazing ages that you can shadow melt, I think. And see, I'm not using much Shield of Righteousness here. Try to get it for the Tank Buster, and then you can probably just send Word of Glories. I'm not doing too much healing done in the end, but no, anything can save a life. So. Since I'm blacksmith, I will take this shield, but I failed using it a bit because it's apparently a channel, I believe. So you just can't stop the channel and you can't move. I'm pretty sure it gives it a decent amount of damage. Even on these, the bone tenders hurt, bone splitters, sorry. They jump on people and they also throw their axe or whatever on them, inflicting a bleed. So we want to stun them when they do that. When those are dead, we're training the mini-boss in. Now with the mini-boss, there's the situational AoE damage that is group-wide, so you really want to check out for the bone splitter then and stop it. The reason why this is slightly bad is because you would want to get the lava bearers in before, because they're gonna live so long now. So it's kind enough to go and pick them up for me. And he's almost dying to death here. Because I'm bad. Partly because I'm bad, but partly because I'm also helping out so much. We should just full out AoE now, but with 3 mobs it's a bit sketchy. Could also jump down as soon as the commander is dead, but then I was also scared of them resetting. By playing it this way, we should have lost up for Magma Tusk as well, which in my opinion is probably a good idea. He's quite a lot of him is based off of how fast you kill him. Right, that was a bit messy. You can jump down in a way so you get to middle land there and not take as much damage. Using a food buff here, extraction button. Now we're at Spine Crushers and Thaumaturges and Ore Elementals. So Thunderers basically do nothing. They throw fire pools on the ground, dodge them, as you can see right there. Spine Crushers does a tank buster. The Ore Elementals do a shield at the start of a pull, but the Ore Elementals affect the Thaumaturges as well. If there is Ore Elementals in the pull, Thaumaturges does 2 casts. Molten Core, which if you let through, the Ore Elemental is going to turn into a Fire Elemental and pulls AoE, which is progressively doing more and more damage, and it's a lot of damage. The way we're doing this room is that we are chaining the Thaumaturges in. We don't want too many with the world elementals up, and afterwards we don't want too many either, because the second thing they're doing is channeling on people, and that hurts as well. So you want to look out and try to stop that. Stop it or sack people or help out healing them. So the plunderers does not matter too much. It might go messy for a lot of people, for other people in the group then, but should be more than fine. Now we're chaining again when the thaumaturge is dead. Now we're having 2 in the group, which is still more than fine, but it's a bit scary to have 3. And at this point it is also hurting a bit, but not too bad. This is where I used the shield, but I stopped the charge, so stopped the channel, my bad. We just kept on chaining here, and as soon as the thaumaturge is dead, we chained ornamentals, and we also chained to the pack up above. If he would have more mana, actually we're chilling because we're missing 1 lust because we're slightly slow. So we're just letting him drink when we finish this pull, and that way we can chain into boss. This boss is fairly easy at the start, so it's not an issue to have a few extra adds, even if it's Spine Crushers and a Plunderer. You want to, at higher keys, people want to do this differently, but at higher keys you kind of want to try to minimize the range of how far he's going, which was a mistake here. Just pulling him back instead. Really want to watch out to keep him in a puddle, because if he's in lava, he's doing 50% increased damage. With lava spray, it's on you. You press a defense. If it's on someone else, you sack them or help topping them up. Spell warding works, but I would recommend using spell ward on the AoE a bit later on. And it's a complete 1-2 stack. But this is another boss where your healing really helps. Even if you're healing, you'll still do a lot of damage, and not that much more damage from not healing. You can see I'm not doing a massive amount of off healing, but a decent amount, enough to help people with. I think this ended up being a bit tight in the end, or it was very clean. I can't remember really. Might have been very tight. So every time he does the AoE, he gains a stack, increasing the damage he deals with that and everything else, I think, and also the amount of projectiles coming out of his ass when he's charging a wall. He's dead there, but we're fine. Yeah, this boss in general is just nasty. I'm using umbrella here, but it's not getting triggered. You can use it, try to avoid the fall damage, or you can jump on the ledge and then jump down, but just word of glorying myself. What you could do here is you could drag it to the chain on the side and use it to kill the pack, but I would probably recommend to pull the next guys then and then chain. Pulling the next pack of 2 mobs and then running back to the chain, and just everyone using the chain, and they should be dead. Making this dungeon a bit messy, but also a bit fun. Instead we are chaining these mobs. It's also a bit rough to do that, considering that just did Magma Tusk, so people have probably not got much defensives up, run and so forth. These actually hurt, but I chilled for a second to get my sentinel up. And the last bit we are skipping, just killing these. We've got plenty of time left. The lava mancers do a molten army when they're at 50%, giving themselves a shield, and they also start channeling spawning lava spawns. You want to kill the shield and kick him afterwards. Wardens does still same thing, tank buster, and a frontal as well. Frontal can be a bit bugged, so you watch out for that. It does fucking hurt. You can see how we want to skip this. Running on the side and then just straight over between the brazier and these stack of coins. My prio on this boss is to just pick up several items. As long as your RNG isn't bad, you'll have several items to use on the boss, and it makes more sense for you to do it than for DPSs to run out. And look, he puts, when he does molten gold, he spawns new extra items to pick up. Spawns an ad. The ad puts poop on the ground, you can stun it and so forth. You can also precast things. So when it's like half a second left of the channel, you can press your extraction button, and that way it goes off as soon as it gets his shield. But as you can see, my priors in general pick up items. When you pick up the item, you get a curse on yourself, doing a bit of damage. But you can stone form it away or decurse it or whatever. Also want to chill and check your movement. There's one item that does a charge, and that's a bit of a bitch, and make you charge into the boss and stand on the puddle. But if you go a bit away, you'll charge in where there should be no puddle unless someone else in the group has been there before. I don't think we're getting any more. It's done. Oh well, the boss dies there. Thanks for watching. I'm dead.